It was a crisp autumn morning when I sat on my porch, coffee in hand, watching the sun creep over the hills of my Wyoming ranch. The air smelled of hay and freedom, the kind of peace I'd worked decades to earn. Then, out of nowhere, a mud-splattered ATV roared across my private pasture, kicking up dirt and nearly clipping my favorite horse, Daisy. I froze, my mug slipping from my grip, as a woman with a sleek ponytail and oversized sunglasses tore through my land like she owned it. She didn't wave, didn't slow down, just blasted rock music loud enough to send my chickens into a frenzy. That was my first encounter with Linda, the self-proclaimed queen of the nearby suburban HOA. And the moment I knew my quiet life was under siege. My name's Tom Bradley, and I'd bought this 50-acre ranch to escape the noise of city life and the petty rules of neighborhoods like Pineview Estates, the fancy development bordering my property. Most of its residents were polite, keeping their distance, but Linda was different. As the HOA president, she treated the world like her personal playground. When she discovered the dirt trail I'd carved for moving cattle, she decided it was her private racetrack. That first day, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was lost. So, I walked to her manicured backyard, knocked, and introduced myself. "That trail's private," I said calmly. "No vehicles, please." Her response? A smirk and, "It's better suited for my ATV than your cows." Then she slammed the door. By the next weekend, Linda wasn't alone. 3 ATVs, hers included, tore through the trail, flattening a feeder, snapping an irrigation line, and spooking my horses into the barn. I put up a sign, "Private property. No ATVs. Violators prosecuted." The next morning, it was crushed under tire tracks, next to an empty energy drink can. Linda had declared war. I tried everything: grail cams, a cease and desist letter, even a call to the HOA. Their response, signed by Linda, claimed my trail was a shared community corridor and demanded I remove my dangerous livestock. My pigs, who laze around unless there's corn nearby, are dangerous? I laughed, but I was done playing nice. Linda's entitlement pushed me to a breaking point, and as any rancher knows, sometimes you fight fire with a whole lot of mud. I spent nights rerouting the trail through the messiest corner of my ranch, the pig pen, a swampy, pungent pit my grandkids called the sludge zone. I smoothed the path, added reflectors to make it look inviting, and tossed apple scraps to ensure my pigs, led by a clever hog named Rusty, would be ready for visitors. I left the old signs up, knowing Linda would ignore them. She didn't just trespass, she reveled in it, like she was outsmarting me. 2 days later, the roar of engines signaled her return. Linda, flanked by her HOA buddy Greg in flip-flops, charged down the new path. I watched from the barn, binoculars in hand, as their tires hit the sludge. The ATVs sank, and chaos erupted. Pigs swarmed, drawn by the apples. Linda shrieked as Rusty nudged her fender, thinking it was snack time. Greg's ATV stalled, and he bailed, landing face first in the muck. Linda dropped her phone trying to film the ordeal, her sunglasses sliding into the soup. I sipped my coffee, grinning. No morning had ever felt so sweet. But Linda didn't retreat. She spun her humiliation into a social media stunt, posting on the HOA's page about her rugged adventure, complete with a muddy selfie. She called the trail a community gym and invited residents for weekly rides. Then came a letter from the HOA Linda's signature at the bottom fining me for obstructing shared access and harboring aggressive animals. My jaw dropped at her audacity. She'd trespassed, wrecked my property, and now she was fining me for it? I called my old friend Deputy Mark, who chuckled but warned me. Linda was clever, and legal battles with HOAs could drag on. "Give her enough rope," he said, "and she'll hang herself." That sparked an idea. If Linda wanted a trail, I'd make it unforgettable. I redesigned the path again, laying fresh straw to lure her from the pig pen, then dug a shallow trench filled with compost and covered it with netting. At the end, I built a mock checkpoint with a sign, "Linda's VIP lane ride at your risk." I fed Rusty and the pigs along the new route, so they'd associate engine noise with treats. When Linda's Saturday trail rally arrived, 7 riders in matching HOA shirts, one with a drone eye, was ready. They hit the trench at full speed. Linda cleared it, but the next rider, a cocky teen, nosedived into the compost. The drone crashed into a feed bin, and Rusty led a pig stampede, his collar bell jingling like a battle cry. Riders fled, gagging, as Linda screamed about sabotage. I strolled over, pointed to the warning sign, and reminded her that the cameras were rolling. She slipped in the mud, trying to storm off, and I bit back a laugh. The fallout was glorious. The teen leaked the drone footage online, captioned HOA Gone Wild. It went viral, with Rusty's Bell remixed into a local radio jingle. Linda tried to save face, claiming I'd set biological traps and announcing an HOA investigation into my ranch. She even banned unregistered ATVs and livestock events, as if she ruled my land. But her neighbors were fed up. Posts flooded the HOA group, questioning her authority and the trail's legality. When a resident leaked that Linda used HOA funds for her ATV gear, the cracks in her empire widened. I didn't stop. I sent a lawyer-drafted cease and desist, backed by photos, videos, GPS maps, and a notarized deed proving the trail was mine. I mailed it to Linda and the HOA's email list. Days later, her allies quit the board, citing leadership issues. Residents sent me a package, a framed photo of Rusty with a medal and a gift card, signed by the Anti-Linda League. I hung it in the barn, chuckling. Linda's final stand was a town hall, where she planned to paint me as a villain. It backfired. Her slideshow froze on a shot of her stuck in the trench, and someone's phone played the Rusty remix. Laughter drowned her out, and she fled mid-speech. A petition to oust her as HOA president hit 100 signatures overnight. Neighbors shared stories of her tyranny, fines for wrong mailbox colors, threats over lawn ornaments. The HOA audited her, uncovering misused funds and hidden complaints. Linda was done. She tried one last move, a lawsuit against me for endangerment and emotional distress, demanding $50,000. In court, my lawyer, Sarah, dismantled her claims with evidence maps, bylaws, footage. The judge, a no-nonsense rancher's daughter, scoffed. You trespassed and blamed his pigs for your mess. She dismissed the case, ordered Linda to pay my fees, and banned her from my land. Outside, reporters swarmed, but I just tipped my hat and posed with Rusty, who'd come along in my truck. The HOA crumbled without Linda. A new president, Ellen, apologized and funded a sturdy fence along our border. Neighbors relaxed, painting doors bright colors and hanging wind chimes without fear. Rusty became a local legend, his face on t-shirts and a food truck's logo. Linda vanished. Some said she moved, others swore she hid behind her curtains. Her final letter blamed public harassment for her exit. I tossed it in the compost. At a community barbecue, folks toasted Rusty and me. Kids asked to pet him. I said he preferred mud to fame. As I walked home under the stars, Rusty's bell jingling, I felt the weight lift. My ranch was mine again, defended not by force but by patience, proof, and a pig who'd stumbled into heroism. Linda's reign was over, and the trail was quiet for good. What do you think about this saga? Have you faced bullies like Linda, or seen injustice spark a fight? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your take on standing up to power and where you draw the line. Your voice matters.